Shooting a shot is a 3-step process. You see a nigga, say something to that nigga, and then get that nigga number. Simple. I talked to Lamont White about how to go about shooting a shot.
If something for singles or something that you like to do for fun is occurring in the city, you should be there. Put a cute outfit on, take one friend.
So to put this to the test, I challenged myself so I can overcome my own fear of rejection. I had 3 rules. If I see a guy I like, I had to talk to them myself. No wingman and no subliminal messages. I couldn't use any apps or social media to connect. And if I got the number, I had to follow up within a day. Overcoming the fears that trip all of us up helped me get 10 dates from 10 different men. So now the question becomes, why does the fear of rejection trip so many of us up and stop us from shooting the shot that we want to? Then what do all the single niggas watching this need to do about it? Tonight, I'm talking to 2 content creators who co-host their own podcasts to see if we can find some resolution. Before we get into it, though, remember the easiest way to support the channel is to shop Dear Black Gay Men merch at dearblackgaymen.shop. Our Feeling Blue short set is perfect for spring, and if you use code BADVO, you can take 15% off your first purchase. Shout out to Stephen R. and D'Angelo D for supporting the channel and picking up your blue trucker hat. That's dearblackgaymen.shop for merch. Now, let's get into it. In a world of endless swipes and chance encounters, where will you find the real connection that lasts a lifetime? This is apps versus real life explained, and the show starts right now. What up, though? Jay the Gentleman here. That's at JAI the Gentleman on IG and Facebook. Welcome to Thirsty Thursday right here on Dear Black Gay Men podcast. Before the show, I talked about how I challenged myself to put myself out there. I shot my shot at 10 men that I met in clubs and bars and one at the grocery store. If I thought they were cute and gave a hint of gay, I said something, and 10 times out of 10, they talked back. This led to 3 virtual dates, 4 hookups, and 3 actual first dates. I'm still single, but I definitely ain't afraid of rejection. So tonight, my first guest is a multi-talented entertainer who is a co-host of the Culture Club podcast and stars in Watch ACTV's drama, The Deception. And the second is no slump either. He's a content creator and the co-host of the Boys Next Door podcast. Please welcome Jai and Blaccbrry. Are y'all there?
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Don't be so excited. Calm down. I mean, I just gave y'all the Shannon Sharp intro, and y'all give the hey.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it sounded really good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we try to put in the effort here at Dear Black Gay Men podcast. How are you doing, Jay?
I'm doing great. I mean, thanks for asking. Life is lifing, but I'm enjoying the trip. Yeah, it's
This is
been
not the
fun.
first time I heard that life is life. And what is life doing?
You know, for a lot of people that can mean a lot of different things, but for me, life has been a constant evolution. So I feel like, you know, each day is a different level, something new, and it's been good. A lot of new doors have been opening that I didn't even know I knocked on. So that's
Come on
just
here.
kind of what I mean
Come on
in
here.
terms of
Open a door that no man can close.
listen.
We're a little churchy around here, so bear with us. Okay,
It's all
Blaccbrry,
right.
what should we call you? Because all the meetings I've heard your name is like 4 different things. So what should I call you? Is Blaccbrry okay, or is there something else?
Blackberry is fine.
Okay, because your berry is kind of black.
It is.
I mean, the berries that I can see. I have not seen any of the inappropriate berries. Unless you want to
Allegedly.
send me a link.
With the straight face.
I'm serious. Okay, so for this conversation, I know I'm going to need a cocktail. What are y'all drinking on, if anything? Jay, what are you drinking on?
I haven't made one because yesterday we filmed and we were on tequila, so I feel like I'm detoxing. I need to drink some water.
Okay, water for you. What about you, Blaccbrry? What are you drinking?
I got a little rosé.
A little rosé. That's it.
Oh,
That's
we
very fancy of you. Shoulder
And
shooting with the rosé.
a protein shake because I haven't eaten.
Okay. I mean,
Not a good combo, but I need to get it done.
you know your body. That's an inside joke here on Dear Black Gay Men podcast, but okay. Well, I want to special thanks to Bottled for being a continued sponsor of Thirsty Thursday and providing us with deliciously crafted cocktails. They are providing what I am drinking tonight. To pick up your bottle cocktail, visit bottle.co and use our exclusive coupon code at checkout for 15% off and free shipping. Remember, for bottle cocktails, shake and pour over ice. Are y'all ready for this conversation?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into the episode. Okay, teammates, there's always a lot happening in Black gay culture, so I want to hear y'all's thoughts on these current events. Y'all know, week in and week out, I sit in this chair and I talk to y'all and a guest about a topic that helps shift the culture forward, hopefully. But tonight, both of my guests host podcasts with other people. I'm curious, what is it like talking to other people every week? Jay, I'm gonna start with you.
I think my facial expression.
You give a whole lot of faces on your show. You give facial expressions down.
I'm shocked every single time, every taping. It was kind of like a situation where we auditioned and we didn't really, some of us know each other through acting and different shows or being on the network, but all in all, we don't really hang out that much. So the conversation that we have typically is at the table, and you really don't know what to expect to come out of these guys' mouths. And so for me, my facial expressions are just... I can't control them. I have no clue. I'd be shocked a lot of times, but it's fun. To say.
You ever heard like some lame brain shit? Like, how could you ever think that?
I think one of my facial expressions says that. I can't tell you which one, but
okay.
There has been some times where I go, how did we get here?
Okay, so Jay is on one side of the spectrum with 4 cast members that he does not regularly engage with. But Blaccbrry, you on a podcast with your best friend. What's that like?
That's fun. It's easy because like we know each other. So like the conversations we have, like they really just be flowing a lot of times. Like sometimes we come to the podcast unprepared for the day, and then we end up with like an hour and a half long episode. So it's easy on that front. And then I guess like on the business side, like we don't really disagree on much there. So if we're beefing, it's probably some personal stuff, and it's not like we disagreeing over something the podcast. So.
Well, I mean, y'all have tackled some very interesting topics. Jay, I don't know if you know this, but on their show they rate dicks, like they rate dick pics. And that is one of the recurring themes that I've seen. And it's like on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate this dick pic? I really did want to send mine in and be like, just to see how I fare. But
that is very interesting. I love that because I get upset at some of the images that I get. You know what I'm saying? Because it just be like, I mean, dang, y'all angles don't be right. It don't be like oiled up or nothing like that. Or,
that's what Blaccbrry was saying about the oiled up. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 5, what would be a 5 out of 5 for you, Jay? A 5 out of 5 dick pic that's
a dick pic. Where if I were to put a quarter on the image in order to get the actual size, it would match up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay. So you like them girthy?
No, I like a real depiction of what it is that I'm going to be getting.
Oh, you like them dick pics where it's like the dick next to a lotion bottle or a remote or something. You like the comparison pics?
No, but I am victim of doing that.
See, that's what happens when you fuck around with these African niggas. Because me and Jay got a little African in us. Okay. But there's that. Okay, so for the people, Blaccbrry, tell us what is 5 out of 5 for you. I asked earlier, but
so a 5 out of me is like long, thick, oily, hairy, extra points for uncut, extra points for feet being in the pic if they're cute. And you know what? Hands. Like if your hands are in the picture, if you got really nice hands, that's gonna pump your score.
But usually the hand is in there in order to pump the size up a lot of times.
Yeah, and I will take points off for ugly.
You got to take points off for that because it's not giving that for real. You'd be like, oh, you squeezing. Wow, this conversation just went
Yes, I mean, but that's what really happens. But what about like accessories like cock rings and
I mean,
piercings or things like that?
I'm cool with that. I mean, I just think people who got like the Prince Albert piercing, I just be like, what went on in your childhood that you like this type of pain? Like I just be like, what's happening?
I'm a
Yeah,
firm believer
I
that if you
can't do
put a
that.
hole in your dick, you didn't want to use it in the first place.
It
Or you
just, I
not
mean,
using it
now
or not planning on using it.
Like I don't understand that. My dick is pristine. I like there was this porn called Apprende when I was growing up, and this man had a tattoo of a scorpion on his dick. Now that was hot. But he was
I
fucking.
think I
Y'all, you ever seen
remember
that porn? They were fucking on top of the Isuzu rodeo.
I think I remember that
I
one.
see.
Yeah, and
It's ringing a bell.
he had a scorpion tattooed on his dick, and he fucked that boy down. But they were Blatino when Blatino was a thing. It was okay. We're getting off topic here. I mean, this is
Yeah.
definitely not the topic that I had in mind when I was talking about podcasting, but okay. Next one is a couple weeks back we talked about how the girls are killing themselves behind unrealistic body standards. Well, I'm back on my soapbox, and at this time, I'm coming for the veneer text. Question: do the girls need to be more careful of who they let in their mouth? You know, everybody getting their teeth done, but you ever seen the chiclets? Like when the teeth are too big for their mouth.
I see him on celebrities. I see him on like influencers a lot. My whole thing with the veneer tech people is just like, I mean, it like this terminology and this like brand of scammery just dropped out of thin air, and I just can't believe people have fallen for it. Like y'all are grown and did not know that veneer tech's not a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's absolutely no such thing called a veneer tech. Like you can anything that you can go and get a certificate for in 48 hours or less is questionable.
And you want to
To
shave down
say the
my
least.
teeth and put something on top of them? Fuck that.
For the most part, those aren't the ones that are shaving down teeth. They're literally boiling up some concoction and forming it on top of your teeth, charging you about $1,500 to $2,500 and sending you on your way.
That is some bullshit.
That is some
So,
bullshit.
like, I have several people in my life who have like it's like a denture, like it's like veneer dentures that you put
The
on top of your teeth.
pop-ons,
Oh God, I hate them. I hate them so much.
they look bad.
I
I've
hate them
seen a
so much.
few with them. I act like I don't know that they're pop-ons.
But
Do
but
you?
they're all of course they're way too big because they're pop-ons. Like your teeth are normal size still, and this is going on top of. It's a thing. I hate it, but I will say the bigger question because I've been drinking a little bit. The bigger question is why do we have such unrealistic standards about beauty? We got people getting all types of work done to their body, people getting all types of work done to their face, and it really is permeating into gay culture in a real way. Why do you think so many of us are chasing these beauty standards that are just so unrealistic? I'll start with you, Blackberry.
I don't know what it is. I think a lot of it has to do with like some people just genuinely aren't secure in themselves and what they look like. And a lot of times what happens is like, and I'm sure a lot of people are victim to this, like you'll be on your explore page on Instagram and you see all these like hot people with these hot bodies, their faces look a certain way, everybody's using the filter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like I can see how somebody could trick themselves into believing that they need to get these things done. But I think a lot of it just comes down to like internal issues that people have, honestly.
It's funny that you talk about hot bodies. So me and Jay were texting the other day, and I said I don't have enough abs to be on your show because everybody on his show got a 6-pack. Every single person got a 6-pack, and he was like,
Posted
"Oh
a
no, not
picture.
everybody." And then he sent me a picture of somebody who had like a 4-pack, and I was like, "Bro, I got a keg. I don't. There is no way I could be like on this set and be normal." But
We are body positive. It's all
I'm
good.
certain y'all are. It's just y'all need to have a little more cellulite for me to feel comfortable.
In terms of your question, though, like, I really don't think it's insecurities. I think it's now um, the ease with Klarna and pay and all these little these payment plans, because it makes everything more attainable. I mean, let's think about it. Everybody nipping and tucking and feeling and all that stuff is
On
is
the
not
afterpay?
anything new. It's not new, but now it's more affordable because you got, somebody with a different deal, go to Turkey, get it done for 2,500, you know what I'm saying? And you can be like the Joneses, you know what I'm saying? So it's the self identities and the bullshit is still there. It's just now people are able to fix them, and even if it's, cutting corners.
But on the afterpay though.
Listen, everybody has
That one
Klarna,
kind of that one
Afterpay,
kind of fucked me up in the
Sizzle.
head. On the
It's
Afterpay,
available.
on a Klarna, on a every 2 weeks vibe though.
There's people who are paying monthly for their teeth. Don't get it twisted. A lot of these
On
people that are out
it's
here,
a firm. Oh, see, you done took me out here.
look, do your research. A lot of these people, if they can get their teeth repoed, they would be going back by now.
So there
But
was
that's
this
the
guy. So there was this guy that I was having sex with, right? And he had the prettiest teeth ever. Pretty, they're gorgeous. But what I don't get is he had like a legit $15,000 of dental work, none in his mouth, no car, no furniture. Like what fucked me up about it wasn't the fact that your teeth were beautiful. It was just like your priorities were so messed up. His teeth were fine before, but he had to get them done at the expense of all these other things, all these other necessities in Atlanta, Georgia. It's very difficult to get around this city without a car.
That's true.
And I think we
My
just have
question
some
though,
messed up priorities.
what was his ooh, are you going to be able to say like his profession? Because I'm trying to justify it for him.
It's unjustifiable. I can't say his profession, but it's unjustifiable, friend.
Okay.
It's unjustified. Okay, moving on. Okay, on Friday of last week, y'all did something. Everybody, Team DBGM did something very special. I want to thank the Dear Black Gaming family, the Backsliders, and the New Additions for helping us hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. We did it, Joe. Yay!
Congratulations.
Very excited about that. It was great. Thank you. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. All right, that was our current events. Black gay culture is saying I'm shy and don't want to be rejected, but also saying I want a man. And so my question for my guests today, Jay and Blaccbrry, if we're both shy men, if culture is full of shy men, who is the one that does the approaching? Jay, I'm gonna start with you.
Whoever don't want to be shy no more, whoever don't want to be single no more, basically. I mean, all these are excuses. If you like somebody enough, you're gonna muster up enough courage, whether it's when you first see them or 69 days later, it's gonna happen.
But 69 days, how often do you run into the same person every
That's
69 days?
that's when you have to make that decision. Is it that important to you? I mean, people aren't really thinking when they go through all these excuses as to why they didn't approach somebody that could have been the love of their life. To me, if they're telling me that those type of stories, it's not making me want to be with you even more because it's like, well, what was your hesitation? You know what I'm saying? Like,
But niggas be intimidating though, don't they?
that's a you problem. I feel like I get intimidated too, but if I really am interested, then I have to get over that. And I feel like everybody has to get to that point as well.
Okay, Blaccbrry, are you a approacher? Do you approach the girls if you want the number? Do you go get it?
I feel personally attacked because I am the shy one. I am the one that's like, oh my gosh, I want to say something to this boy, but I don't know how. I don't know what to say. Like I'm very awkward. And like you said, I mean, it is an excuse because I'm a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm still scared.
What are you scared of?
So I wouldn't say rejection. It's more so like I don't want to sound. I mean, it's probably rejection. I don't want to sound crazy because I know when I get nervous, I get the sweat and I get the stuttering. I might not even get the words out.
Okay.
I don't want to look crazy. Another excuse.
Are you scared of what
they?
because those are two different things. If you don't want to look crazy, that's one feeling. But if you don't want to be rejected, that's another. One is you and one is about them. Which is it?
It can't be both.
I mean, it's you. I don't know.
I don't really think about rejection when I think about I want to approach somebody and I choose not to. I really just think about like, oh, I'm scared to do this. I don't even really get to the rejection part because I've already talked myself out of going and talking to them.
But like, what I'm really curious about is what does the I'm scared stem from though? Like,
I don't know. Maybe
what are
something
you
in my
scared that will
childhood. I
happen?
don't know. I really don't know. I really wish I could answer that. I really don't know because
I
there's
really think it
really
comes
no
from
logic.
insecurities. Like you're not, I mean, and I'm no therapist, but I would say that somebody who is, really deep into like talking themselves out of things that they actually want is not confident in themselves. I mean, and that's a lot of people, and to some degree, you know what I'm saying? Like if you one of them people who feel like they a bad bitch no matter what, I can get any, you know what I'm saying? Those are the people with those attitudes that literally will walk up to anybody, and whether they get accepted or not, they down for whatever happens afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Because really the worst that somebody can say is no.
Facts.
I think I think those are I think the bad bitch is like the opposite of what Blackberry talking about. Not that you ain't no bad bitch, but I feel like the bad, like on one end, it's the girls that are scared of whatever may come, right? It could be rejection, it could be insecurities, it could be something else. And then over here on the other pole is the bad bitches who, how dare you approach me because I'm better than you. And I think our
Mm,
culture is full of, of both of those.
those are self-proclaimed.
Agreed. They still out there though. They outside. Where the lie?
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
where the lie at? Oh, I had a button that said, "Girl, say what you saying," but I don't have a button.
I
But where the
mean,
lie? Like, don't we have? I feel like our culture is full of both of those. They either over here as shy, or they over here as how as I'm better than everybody, and I don't get either of those. Like the
I mean,
three of us, I
it's
think
definitely
we're
some
three.
hot, it's some hot sedity girls out there that just, that I get what you're saying. They feel like they're on another level than other people, but I would probably never approach those type of people anyway.
I mean, I feel like everybody has their league or their circle. You know what I'm saying? And you really kind of have to take your time and figure out, if that person is somebody you want to be interested in. You kind of look and see by the atmosphere and with their surroundings and who they're, dealing with to figure out if there's actually something there or if they're going to do you like that. But at the same token, again, if you not, don't nobody want nothing that, you're not willing to work for, at least a little bit.
I think that's a good place to get ready for a break because I got a follow up question that I wanted to get to after the commercial. Okay. All right, teammates. Later in the show, Jay and Blackberry will be answering your burning questions from the comments, but I want to hear from everybody. I want to hear from y'all now. What is the worst part of getting rejected? What's so bad about it? Let me know in the comments. If you have a friend that will stare down some sexual chocolate like me from across the bar but never start the conversation, I want you to send this YouTube live to them or tag them in the comments on Instagram. This is Apps versus Real Life Explained, and we will be right back. Listen. Put this on. Y'all remember BGC? I had to run in here and get this out because y'all see my hair is a mess. I'm in my workout clothes, but I remember them days. It was a time when the girls were simple. The stories were lit. The DMs were not always open because half of us still had a dial-up connection and you actually had to meet people. Then there was a time before that when we ain't had the internet at all. I remember the chat line. For Thirsty Thursday on Dear Black Gay Men Podcast, we're having a drink with Lamont while he helps me and the girls figure out how to get offline and get in love. What up, though? Welcome back to Thirsty Thursday right here on Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. I'm here talking to Jay and Blackberry, but I want everybody get ready to make your move and have some flirty fun in our game that we call Slide In. Hit it. Since we're a culture of shy men, I want to know, at what point are you willing to make a move? I'm going to put up a scenario, and my guest and I are going to decide if it's a signal enough for us to make the first move. I want to know, at where is the boundary at? Let me know in the comments where you would start making a move toward the dude across the bar for a game slide in. First one. Oh, okay. You see a cute man across the room. Is that enough to go make a move? Jay, what about you?
See a lot of cute men across the room. That don't mean nothing.
Okay. What about you, Blackberry? See a cute
Yeah,
man
it's not
across the
enough.
room. Is that enough for you to be like, okay, let me go get his number?
No,
No.
not
Okay.
yet.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, you see a cute man across the room and you 3 shots in of your favorite liquor.
We might be on to something.
Blackberry said we might be on to something. What about you, Jay? Cute man is across the room and you 3 shots in.
I'm now going to
3
acknowledge
recent
that he's
shots.
cute.
Okay.
I'm
What does that
I'm
look
going to
like?
acknowledge that he's cute now. That's about it.
What does that look like? Like a head nod? Like
It may be a head nod or I do a wink thing that's kind of corny, but
what does it look like? Can I see it?
I don't know.
And
It's
does
just
it work? Do I need to like incorporate this when I start going to the
Like
club?
the wink.
so it's kind of like oh, this seems kind of douchey, but it's kind of like a look and then a quick a head nod and a wink, just basically making sure that the person knows that I see you and hey.
Okay, now all of this is under the premise that you would make a first move if push came to shove.
If push came to shove, yeah, I don't mind making the first move. I have
Okay.
like little witty kind of stupid shit that I say.
Okay, so you see a cute man across the room, you're 3 shots in, and then he smiles at you. Is that enough to make the first move? Jay?
Are you asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Smiles at you is enough. What about you,
Yeah.
Blackberry?
I'm gonna say yes, even though
You
I'ma
ain't
say yes.
busting a grape.
Is it
I
or is it
might.
not?
I
He
might.
over there, you 3 shots in, and he looks your direction and smiles.
In theory, like yes. In
In
practice, I
practice,
don't know if I would do it.
okay.
I probably should.
Okay, keep going. Up the stakes. See a cute man across the room. You 3 shots in. He smiles at you, and then he comes by, touches you, and makes eye contact. Is that enough to speak? Blackberry, Jaden already spoke at the
I
smile.
mean, at that point, that's my man. So we might as well progress from there. See
Really?
that would be easier for me because he approached me first. You said he touched me and made eye contact. So I'm like, okay, now I can do this.
Okay, what
I
if he
didn't bust the
touched?
first move.
What if I don't know if you know bulldogs, but bulldogs get packed. So what if he just kind of walks by you and touches you? He doesn't stop, but he walks by you, touches you, and then it's at the bar doing his thing. Would you then go up to him and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I would probably freeze up. I'd be like, "Did that man just touch me?"
Really?
I'm for real about the shy shit. Like it's not a game. I really am shy at my big
It's
age.
only cute for like the first 5 minutes. You're gonna have to get out of that.
Like, okay. Let's finish the game before I get my follow-ups. Okay, so now he done touched you. He's standing a few feet away at the bar, and now he comes back up to you, asks you your name. Is that enough?
I think that's enough.
So essentially, what you're saying is he got to make the first move in order for you to engage.
Basically.
What would it take for you to engage, though?
I think I'm gonna start.
Okay.
I'm gonna make attempts. I am.
Okay. How often do you see men's at the club that you would reach out to?
The problem is I don't go nowhere.
That'd be my problem too. I'd be in the house. I'll be in the house.
So
I'll be
where you
hiding.
go start approaching people?
When I start going outside.
Okay. Okay, I ain't gonna do that last one, Aaron. But this is what this whole premise came from. The idea, I was in the club, and you know how you be in the club minding your own business with your friends or whatever. And then I leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. I leave and my phone goes off. Get the message from, whatever app that says, were you just in the club? And what I don't understand is, why is there so much safety in the apps that people don't feel or create for themselves in person, in real life? What is what keeps the apps a safe haven for people to make a first move that doesn't exist in real life?
I feel like a bottle of liquid courage. What's the least that you can do? Um, and if you do say something crazy, I could block, delete, and deny. There's a plausible deniability, but when there is a situation where you're in public, ooh, who's watching, such and such seen it, da 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 da, and all these caveats that make it, daunting. I get it, but it's still no excuse to be weird, because that's, to me, weird. It's another reason why whenever I go out, I make it a point not to close the club down. Yes, now you see me, now you don't. So if you are interested, it might behoove you to speak, because I'm not going to be here for more than an hour, more than 2 hours.
It's
I
okay.
think it definitely provides like a safeguard. Like, you can be as bold as you want to be on the app, and you got something to hide behind. You don't really have to respond to nothing if you think you went out too far or you got a bad reaction or whatever. So I think, even for me, like, I don't really, to be fair, I don't really make the first move on apps either.
What? What?
Unless I
Wait a
get
minute. Wait
matched.
a
Unless
minute.
I
Wait a
get
minute.
matched. But
Wait a minute.
okay, y'all is not gonna drag me on this day. All I'm saying is, like, on the apps, I think it's easier because you can kind of be whoever you want to be on the other side of the phone.
But how?
But in a first meeting, you could be anybody in person too. Like, I don't know you.
Absolutely.
That's true. Very true.
Why? So why is the rejection? Because what I'm hearing is the rejection is more real in person than it is online. Excuse me, that was weird. But why though? Like, if I don't know you, then what do you owe me, or what do I owe you to where my rejection matters so much? Why do we care about the opinions of strangers to that degree? I'm really asking that. That's a real question, because I really want to know, like, what is it about someone's opinion that I do not know, might be attracted to, but I don't know? What is so important about his opinion of me or my approach?
I'll say, for me, again, like, when I'm thinking about, like, if I see somebody attractive in public, I'm not thinking about, like, now it's just me. I'm not thinking about, like, oh, they're gonna turn me down, or they're gonna be like, move ugly. I don't know. Like, I don't really get those feelings when I think about it. I just get the angst and, like, the nervousness of the interaction, and less about the rejection.
But you're not ugly though.
But I don't know that. Like, I don't know. I know that, but I'm just saying, I don't know if other people are gonna think that. But what I was saying was, that's not my first thought. Like, I don't go
Okay.
immediately to that.
You don't go immediately to, oh,
Because they
I'm
could say
ugly.
move ugly, but that's not what I'm thinking the reaction is going to be. The nervousness just comes from the actual interaction itself.
The
I feel like a lot of the men, like whether gay or straight, have become like princesses when it comes to like dating type situation. And no offense to you, Blackberry, it's just very a point of, you should come up to me. Like, I'm looking good. Like, I did my work. I went to my therapist. My credit score 800. You know what I'm saying? You can see
girls
all it.
ain't got no 800 credit score.
But that's how they operate at this time. It's like, they're so healed and so woke and grand rising. It's
No, we ain't doing
hilarious.
no hoteps. We ain't doing no hoteps.
It's hilarious, and I feel like those are the ones that they have the expectations, and that they're very single. And again, I ain't got no man at all. So I mean, but that's not my problem.
I'm just always so curious about how we interact with each other. Like, I remember, and now I'm gonna get deep for a second, but I remember coming out and going to the club my very first time. I went to the Electric Company in San Antonio, and I felt like myself. This is my first time being around gay people. But even being around people that like look and walk and talk like me, I didn't want to walk up to nobody because it was so intimidating. And I just wonder, like, what about each other can be intimidating when we all are the girls? Now, granted, if I done got out of that shit, I don't give a shit about nobody. And more importantly, people walk up to me and I'm just like, okay, hey, I don't know who you are, but hey, this is a conversation we'll have a little later. But I just am so curious, why do we find each other to be so intimidating in in-person interactions? And I wonder, did I miss a step? Like, has it always been that way? Or is it just because the girls be doing everything online now? That's a real question.
I think it's always been that way. In the lifestyle period, it's always been a hierarchy. And I mean, I feel like us as gays, we always feel like we have the most attractive of the male species at our fingertips and or at our eyesights, just giving a big ups to the gay community, period. We take care of ourselves.
Because we are,
but it's just in levels.
We are pretty as hell.
Like, aren't we?
Look at y'all.
Quit. But
I mean,
but I feel like, that's could be part of the reason. And then we all have high expectations. I mean, we're all a magical being. I mean, a lot of us are very talented, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy to, feel intimidated by, oh, he got a podcast, or he models, or he got a fashion, line, or he got a whole hairline, it's all the different things that you got to fit into, in this world. So
I just thought of something. Okay, we got to take a break. I got to pay some bills. I just thought of something, but we'll talk about it afterwards. All right. Later in the show, teammates, Jay and Blaccbrry are still going to be answering your burning questions from the comments, but I want to hear from y'all now. What turns you off about a man's approach? Let me know in the comments. And after the commercial break, I'm giving practical advice on how to shoot your shot in person, because Blaccbrry is going to start shooting his shot and get a cute guy's number. So share this YouTube live and tag your friends in the comments so they can get in too. This is Apps versus Real Life Explained, and we will be right back.
Did you know that there are more than 38.4 million people living with HIV globally? Or that 13% of people who have HIV in the US don't know it? Did you know that there are HIV vaccine clinical trials throughout the US to find a vaccine that can stop HIV? Or that they need volunteers? Learn more about how you can help at helpendhiv.org.
Welcome back to Thirsty Thursday, teammates, right here on Dear Black Gay Men podcast. The conversation tonight has been centered around approaching that cute guy in public. We've been overcoming our fear of rejection, hopefully, but now we got to figure out what to do next. So check this out. Shooting a shot is everything up until you get the number. Before that, he's just some guy that's cute. After that, he's just the guy in your phone, unless you give him purpose and intention to be anything more than that. If you plan on bullshitting this man with what you do in text messages, then stick to scrolling. Send him a sub on gay social media, and then let that be that. But if you want to overcome fear and walk over to that man to have a conversation that may just change your life, then these 3 tips will help you shoot better shots and land better dates. I used these same 3 tips to turn my dating life around so I could have some of the most engaging dates and best conversations of my life. If you're an eligible bachelor who's ready to date or a single that's ready to mingle, the first and maybe most important step is to get comfortable with what you're looking for. Write that down. The days are gone of just kicking it or I'm not really looking. We get cold feet because what we actually want doesn't matter to us, or at least it doesn't matter as much as our fears do. So when you want to connect with that cute boy across the room, fear takes over and you end up nursing your watered down rum and coke instead of changing your life with that boy's number. Before you get to the club, before you scroll through the apps, and definitely before you waste time putting on your good things, get clear about what you want and how badly you want it. And once your desires are more important than your fears, you're ready. Now you got to get something to say. You put on your Dear Black Gay Men hoodie set, now available at dearblackgaymen.shop. You get over there, dick hard, ass clean, and you end up sitting on the side of the bed saying, "So what's up?" for 20 minutes. Y'all did the work of connecting, but nobody's willing to say what needs to be said. So you resort to, "So what's up?" One thing I know is that a man wants to be wanted. Just because you got your intention situated doesn't mean he's done that work. You got to go into the conversation focused enough to help both of you navigate. Then actually have something to say. I usually start with a compliment because, I'm okay being a thirsty nigga. That's kind of my shtick. But when you get over to him, whether it's the boy across the way at the club or the boy across the town for a hookup, have a conversation starter that gets you one step closer to your intention. For dating, make it a question that's longer than 3 words and have curiosity enough to look for an answer. Then the one that a lot of us aren't prepared for is you got to be ready for rejection. Everything isn't for everybody. Some people just won't like what you're putting down. But a lot of us let that rejection get us caught up because deep down inside, we think his rejection is a reflection of something about us. It isn't. He's just not ready for how dope you are. Take your lesson learned and continue living your best life. Somebody not liking you is actually a good thing. You're never gonna find someone who does like you until you go through enough people that don't. Your best friend now probably happened after a couple failed friendships. Good dick or good ass probably came after a couple botched hookups. And a good man will come after a couple failed attempts. All rejection is telling you is that this man isn't ready for who you are. Don't hold it against him, and definitely don't hold it against yourself. We'll be right back. Get in the conversation.
This comment says, "I did a good job. It's time for a congratulatory ejaculation session."
Chat live on the show and get exclusive content.
The bottoms are going to eat me up for this in the chat.
Join the Dear Black Gay Men Insiders group on Facebook. All right, teammates, welcome back to Thirsty Thursday right here on Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. Rejection and acceptance are both parts of the ups and downs along the journey to happiness. We can all agree that roller coasters are filled with highs and lows, and we stay on the ride anyways. Why? You might ask. We're going to ask Jay and Blaccbrry. Hey now.
Hey.
All right, Blaccbrry, I'm going to start with you. What's the worst thing that could happen with what's the worst part of rejection?
I guess the worst part would be like if I just like had my hopes up about the interaction, like if I thought it was gonna go a certain way and it went the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be the biggest thing for me, like the letdown of it.
But how would you be affected if that happened?
I don't really think. I'm pretty sure of myself, even when I have like my insecure moments. So it's nothing somebody could like say to me or like that would like get into my thought process of the way I think about myself.
Okay. So the question that I wanted to ask both of you before the break was, you do realize that all the insecurities that may come up for you being rejected are like quadruple for everybody else trying to approach you. Like, y'all know that, right?
Explain.
Like, y'all have all these followers. Y'all both got podcasts. Y'all have people get very nervous approaching you because you have a presence in our culture.
I think the difference between that and those are assumptions. And then I will say, for me, speaking for myself, I try so hard to be authentically me 100%, even on these podcasts and even through my social media, that they can kind of see that I'm just a nice guy with resting bitch face. Like, it's okay to come up to me. And most of the time I am pretty much saying hi to people. I have no idea who they are, but I'm just matching their hi because I don't want to, embarrass myself or them thinking that I remember them and I really don't. So,
but it's not that you're off-putting. It's not that you're intimidating because, you got a face. you are intimidating because in my head, you and I have a relationship because I listen to you every week, or I see you on my phone, or I see you on my TV, or I see
Right.
you all the time. So in my head, you like my best friend that doesn't know it. And so now, in addition to the fact that y'all fine as hell, in addition to the fact that I might be attracted to you, now I got this relationship that you don't even know we got.
I would say use that. That would be a funny approach if you ask me. I don't know why, but it would be hilarious. If somebody says, "Hey, you're my boyfriend in my head," like I'd be like, "Whoa, okay."
I damn near told Blaccbrry that before the show started.
Well,
I've been looking at his cakes jiggle on my timeline for the longest.
Now wait a damn minute.
I mean,
Well,
facts are facts, America.
They don't be
we're
out all
here.
the time.
Again, the reason why I bring that up is because I think it is different it's very interesting hearing you, Blaccbrry, because Jay, you very pretty much said, you ain't got no shame. If you want to approach somebody, you're gonna do it. But for you, Blaccbrry, it's very interesting to hear that the same concerns you have about approaching others are the concerns that we regular folk have about approaching you.
But see, I just feel like I'm regular folk. Like I don't even look at myself that way. Like, and people will say that to me. They're like, "Oh, you got X amount of followers." I'm like, bro, that don't mean nothing to me. Like that don't identify who I am as a person. So like, if anybody is like pointing those things, I'm like, "Oh, thanks for the compliment," but like,
But that's just because you're a good person. But that doesn't change the fact that those metrics are intimidating in our culture.
And I think that would be more of that person's problem then, because it's like, sorry, like, I am who I am.
It's funny you said that because that's what Jay said to you 46 minutes ago.
but at the same, wait.
It's the other person's problem.
But to his defense, like, yeah, that is a personal problem. Like if these are things that intimidate you, then that goes to show you that it's probably not me for you, and that's okay. I would say, now I can speak for the both of us, is that we feel regular. So treat us as regular. If you like what you see, say what's up. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, for me, I maybe didn't speak because I didn't notice you. So it's not my fault. That, or it's not the fact that I didn't want to speak or I wouldn't approach, but we weren't on the same wavelength at the same time. But now,
hold on, because what that sounds like is that would be like a movie star being like, "Oh, I'm a regular person." No, nigga, you are a movie star.
Like, yeah, but a movie star and
gay culture. The silver screen is our feed. You and y'all both be scrolling up and down our feed with thousands of followers. You have to, at some point, you got to acknowledge that can be intimidating, especially in the world that we live in now, where those are metrics that are actual tangible metrics.
I mean, I can understand
y'all
what you're
names
saying.
Are hot in the streets.
I can understand what you're saying, but if a guy thinks like my personality or my looks are attractive, and the thing that deters him is like what I post on social media, I mean, that's kind of out of my hands at that point. Like, I mean, it's on him.
Okay. So now for you specifically though, Blaccbrry, then what is deterring you from approaching anybody else, given the fact you just said that?
It's never that. It's just me being shy and awkward. It's always me. Like, okay. I don't think about the other guys like rejection of me or like who they are as like a reason like why I won't walk up to them. Why I won't walk up to them is something I need to work out in myself, which is being shy, essentially.
Okay.
When he not be single no more, he'll start, running up to people.
Do you want to be single?
I'm at the point where I'm just like, okay, like I have to take some responsibility in the fact that I'm single, because I really just be sitting on my hands when I could be putting in some action.
Then when you can be sitting on something else.
Exactly. Sitting on somebody else's hands while they lift me up in prayer.
I mean, you could be sitting on somebody else's something.
Wow.
See, those are the faces that I be talking about. That was the face. That was one of them. He be making that face, and then what's the face? The director be zooming in on it every time. Every time.
It's probably gonna be that way this time.
Every fucking time. Okay. Let's get ready to take a break. I think that, do we have a thing? Nope. All right. It's time, everybody. During the break, drop your burning questions in the chat box and let us know exactly what you'd like to ask Jay and Blaccbrry. We'll be answering them when we come back. I'm very excited about this one. We will be right back. What is stigma? I truly believe that it comes up when you think something can't happen to you. Like when we think we could never be femme, so we end up with femphobia laced all up and through our dating profiles. Or when we don't be out there like that, so we slut shame people for doing openly what we try to sneak and do privately. But there aren't too many spaces where stigma rises to a criminal level like it does with HIV.
Knowingly gave her HIV and never told her he was infected.
We're talking to 4 Black men from across the country, all living with HIV. I want to see how stigma comes up in their lives and what we can all do to overcome it. All right, welcome back to Thirsty Thursday right here at Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. This is our segment that we're calling Burning Questions. I think we have a question that's coming in for Jay and Blaccbrry in the chat. We're going to do it this way, Aaron. I hope you're ready. Do we have a question? All right, burning question. What do I do when you get his number, but the text call goes nowhere? I'm assuming that means the conversation. Jay, I want to hear from you first. What do? You got the man's number, but the conversation falls flat.
Delete it.
It's just that
point blank and simple. He's just not that into you. Delete it. It's not that hard to have a conversation. Hell, delete it. I'm not even gonna just delete it. I've been there too many times. What if you really like him? I really like peanut butter. I really like tea. I really like Coca-Cola. I kind of gave all those things up too. But I'm just saying, like, how much do you really like this person because you just got his number? The texts and the calls are going nowhere.
Okay. So then, Blaccbrry, to you, because you said that you are, to a degree, socially awkward. So what happens if you get his number and the conversation falls flat? It could just be social awkwardness, couldn't it?
Through text, I don't know. Because, like, through text, you can zhuzh it up. Even if you are shy and awkward, like, you can... If you care enough about the conversation, you can have a conversation through text if that's what y'all
absolutely
want. I think my personal problem is I'm just like not good with the texting back. I actually just got unmatched on Hinge for that.
Okay, so wait a minute. I just want to make this clear.
Oh my God,
you won't approach. You what? You are shy when approached, but then when you get a number and start texting, you don't text back at all.
I'm not saying I'm always the one, but I'm saying I can be, and sometimes the shoe is on the other foot where I'm getting a dose of my own medicine, and that person is not texting me back. But to your point, they just don't want to text me back. They're not that into me. Like I'm very good at.
Don't bring me into this on that. No.
I'm just
that ain't me.
Off your point,
that is not me.
Saying, like,
but hold on. But just to parse through some of these details. Now, you are not good at texting back. Is that a sign that you are not into someone, or is that just you?
It's just me, but I think in a dating situation, if I'm not texting somebody back, I'm not really that into them. Because somebody I like, I'm going to text back. As bad of a texter as I am. Like, if I want to have the conversation, you're going to hear from me. So I think that you can't, if I'm not texting you back, you probably should.
But you don't just magically get good texting etiquette, because I don't text people back. But I never text anybody back. There is no reference point of, oh, he not that into you or whatever. I don't text him. Aaron be complaining I don't text him back.
I get that a lot from
my
friends and family. Like, so they don't. My friends and stuff, they know that, like, I'm not texting them back like that. But I'm saying, if I like somebody, I'm gonna make more effort to text them back.
But you do realize that this is that you kind of painting yourself into a box here. Like, you
Listen, I
can't.
understand
Something
why you're
gotta give,
single.
friend. You can't be shy and not text and this and that and
I
this and that
acknowledge
and be
these are
like,
the
"Ooh, but I
problems.
just want to sit on some dick."
I acknowledge these are
It
the
just gotta
problems.
fall out of nowhere, Jesus.
You know, ideally, and I'm being funny, but ideally, like if he showed up to my door and was like, "I'm your man," then that would probably have to work.
Like if
Before or
somebody just
after you
can't
call the
just popped
cops?
up in your life and be like, "I'm your man, let's get married right now," you'd be like,
Not seriously though, because the killer is real. But I'm just saying, like he's more likely to find me
Absolutely.
in the house than he would be, find me outside.
Because that sounds like how the next scary movie starts. Like,
Now,
Right.
I do know someone who got married very fast, and they are in a very successful marriage.
that
And
I don't. I believe in fairy tales and love at
the
first sight, so
older
it
I
could be done.
get, the more I'm like, I could do that.
I'm
Meet
at the
somebody
point where I'm looking
today,
through
be
mail order
married
brides
next month.
magazines. So like, I'm just gonna order me one and just be done with it.
This is so crazy. This is a good conversation. I'm really curious about this, but now because I will tell you full disclosure when we were talking about this before the show. Everybody wanted to make sure this did not become a bash fest on Blackberry, and we didn't want it to be a therapy session because we were just like, we can't all just be ganging up because everybody knew my perspective and then they knew yours, and it was like, Jake gonna gang up on this man, and I thought, no, I'm not,
I'm okay with it, because I already know
because you're
what my
built for it
problem
tough,
is.
right?
Yeah, I already know what my problems is too. So it's like nothing anybody can say is gonna surprise me. Like I'm already well aware of the part that I play in my singleness.
Okay, and so I do want to ask one last question for the two of you as cultural commentators, more so than your personal experience, because both of you, I'm a little phlegmy. I don't know why, but both of you are are hosts of podcasts that are widely listened to, widely downloaded, and you have a perspective in Black gay culture. And I really do believe that this fear of we did not call it fear of rejection in the conversation, but whatever insecurities that come up about approaching someone in person are real and tangible, and I wouldn't say a problem, but there's it's something in our culture. What could we do to move culture out of such a crippling fear of whatever it is? Like, how do we get there? And I think you also both have two unique experiences because Jay, you like, I'm over it already, so come on with the come on, and Blackberry, you like, give me some advice. So like if we could think bigger than just our own experience and think more about culture, what needs to happen for us to be more comfortable engaging each other in person? Jay, I'm gonna start with you.
I think for me, it's getting back to the days before the internet was that big of a deal. Getting out more. I know that's my problem personally. I usually am not really out unless like a promoter calls me and tells me I'm supposed to be going somewhere because I'm kind of new to the area, so I really don't know the days and the times and all this stuff. So my homeboys are promoters. They tell me when the parties are at, and sometimes I show up, sometimes I don't. But even then, we're always in like a little section and things of that nature. So it's about being able to just go out, by yourself, have a drink, be out in the atmosphere, and be ready and in the moment instead of always in our phones. I think our phones and social media are the biggest hindrance in the dating world. Because even if you do like me, a lot of times instead of asking me for my number, you're going to ask me for my social media first. And then, yeah, you'll see the followers or whatever, and then you get deterred because of whatever stupid reason when you could have just had my number and we could have connected.
You
So
know
it's
that
just
what I
making
just
intentional
saw when you said
connections.
that. Like I think I remember days before, like when I came out the closet, the Motorola Razor was the shit, right? And a text was 140 characters, and you only
Mm-hmm.
got 200 of them in a month. Like that's
Mm.
when I came out. So everybody was always like on the dance floor at a club. And what the interesting thing is, now you go to the club and that person that's always on the dance floor, we think they're weird. And that I think that is
You
so.
wasn't afraid to sweat back in the day. Like
if you
I used to
did
buy
not
clothes
come
for the
out,
mall that I
like
knew
you
that I was
remember
gonna
the
sweat out.
old Brick or Joe,
That was the first club that the first gay club that I ever went to was the Brick, the one with the sunken in
and it had the light up
dance.
dance floor. See,
That was the first gay club. The first time that I saw people who looked like me, I was mesmerized. Like
we reminiscing. This is Dallas. This is Dallas time. Don't nobody
listen,
know about that because
Jody
Blackberry, like,
Malone
I
was the
don't know
first
what
drag queen I ever saw.
Jody fucking Malone. Oh my god. Okay. We won't go there because
she's just around. She's still around and just performed for Pride. So
I'm very excited about that. I'm gonna go see her.
Circle,
but go ahead.
Circle.
So Blackberry, what can we do to move our culture out of these silos that we've created? These insecurities that we've created around engagement.
I mean, I agree. I definitely think the internet has given us a crutch, and I feel like I'm a part of the generation that like we grew up without the internet, but then the internet became such a thing that we grew up with the internet.
Can I ask that? How old are you?
I'm 29.
You didn't grow up without the internet?
Not without the internet, but like the access to internet. Like in the early 2000s and late 90s, we didn't. I didn't get on the internet, like internet until like that didn't really become a thing for me until like 05, 06. That's when we had like, we had like I don't know what it was called, but it was some internet service. We had one computer.
AOL.
It was just dial up. You just didn't have you didn't have Wi-Fi. You had dial up.
That.
Wow.
That was a long time ago.
If I had a shot right now, I would take it.
We old, Jay. We old.
Jesus.
But the internet back then wasn't what it was now. The access to the apps,
not.
the access to the internet. Like I remember
That's
like
true. That
like you
true.
said, having a Razor. One of my second cell phone was a Motorola Razor. I remember if you accidentally clicked the internet button, like you probably gonna get cussed out from your mom because she didn't pay for no internet. You know what I'm saying? Free after 9. Then when after 7 came, that was a little upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to make yourself seem older than you are, but yeah, it's not working.
No, but for full disclosure, because I had my first cell phone in 2000. And so back then, we made our voicemail with the radio playing in the background. And we
did that too.
We thought we was fancy when we got the ringtones that played music, play actual music.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was at Sprint PCS getting my Sanyo that had the caller ID on the outside that had colors. You remember that?
I do.
Them was the days.
Wow.
Those were the glory days. Now we have dated ourselves, Jay and Jay. So
we have. But
I will say that I think that first, I feel old because but also I do think I agree with both of you that the internet has created this crutch that keeps people from interacting, and somehow or another it's holding us back. And so I appreciate that. Thank you all for that. Thank you for being with us. Aaron, do we have another break?
Get in the conversation.
This comment says, I did a good job. It's time for a congratulatory ejaculation session.
Chat live on the show and get exclusive content.
The bottoms are going to eat me up for this in the chat.
Join the Dear Black Gay Men Insiders group on Facebook.
All right, I want to thank my guests, Jai Okoli and Blaccbrry. You can connect with both of them on IG. Links to their socials are in the description. I usually end the show with something uplifting. I try to, at least. But today, I only got one thing to say. Dear Black Gay Men, regardless of what you think, regardless of where you're from, regardless of how old you are, he wants your number just as bad as you want his. That was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at Jai the Gentleman on IG and Facebook. If you want to support Dear Black Gay Men, the easiest way to support is to get some merch. Get your hat or hoodie. You can shop now at dearblackgaymen.shop. I've been drinking, y'all. And then you can follow us at dearblackgaymen.com. on IG, Facebook, and YouTube. I am Jay the Gentleman. This has been Dear Black Gay Men Podcast, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.